Thank you very much.
Off you go.
This should be quite an interesting match, actually. Again, I just want to see where the benchmark is for everyone today. That's my main focus, right? And again, whoever loses these matches today, they end up in that lower bracket. They're going to have to go against Good Intentions and Project Zero, who realistically aren't going to be the nicest teams to have to go through that alligator swamp against initially. So, time to lock in, I fear.
I'm afraid that from here on, it's never going to get easier. This is like, it's just the tournament stacked. Everybody has the opportunity to win. Everybody has the potential to win. Of course, some a little bit more than others, but it's not like there's like a super clear favorite and like super clear weak team. So
that's exactly it, right? I've said this from the start. It's like actually really, really cool because normally, and it's no disrespect to other teams, sometimes in the T2 circuit you end up with these playoff brackets where it's like, okay, what is Lil Bro doing here, you know? And this time it's not like that. This entire tournament is absolutely stacked out the nines. We've seen really consistent results from a majority of these players and teams. Even the teams that are kind of newer, they've got such mixed experience to the point where you're like, no, they are cooking here. They just need a little bit more longevity. So, like you just touched on, anything can happen, Hap.
I am a little bit worried, though, for the side of Myth. They played this map, of course, against Project Zero. They lost at 4-7 at that point. And basically a repeating team that we've seen throughout the group stages. And, of course, group stages is just seeding and, you know, just cue all the excuses. Their attacks just didn't seem that strong, especially in the first 2 days. And they were up against Good Intentions. I mean, again, that was a very defense-sided map. So, Myth starting off on the attack here, they really need to show that they have improved compared to last week if they want to be taking the victory here.
Whoa, secure!
One thing I'm actually really enjoying from Secret so far is the fact that they've gone for, yes, this kind of bakery extension, but they're playing with the Maestro and the Echo. So you've got double plant denial going on, along with a lot of information that you can gain out of that. I don't doubt as well that those yokais will be used to gain like a little bit of active information throughout the round either.
I mean, you kind of get to, and this is something I actually don't like, when people keep hiding those yokais into the very final few seconds and try, you know, to play it off from their drones when their team is needing of an extra gun to provide themselves with the support and firepower needed. If you use the yokai drone as a drone like the attackers do, you actually have an opportunity to support your roamers into getting that first engagement to go their way. And that is usually way more useful if you get the entry kill than it is to be in like a 2v4 situation where the plant is being attempted and one of you is on a drone whilst the other's fighting for his life.
Track sting is active. Track sting is active.
Little setup occurring already. Just covering that brown stairs, throwing some neutral down, track stingers to make sure that people can't flank up it. This gives you a little bit more breathing space if you want to get in and start using those buggies. Again, with secondary shotgun, it's going to allow you to start to apply pressure above. This really allows you to put pressure on that double kitchen door as well. It's a really lovely angle to play around, especially as that timer starts ticking. But that is the main worry that I have right now. You need to get a little bit of a jog on and start to open up more of these sight lines. No one's died yet. We've got a minute left of the round, Hap.
Yeah, the boogies now starting to open up. There's still, of course, the hatch that needs to be opened. However, the Cape Claw is going to stop that from happening. Dynamite, the only person carrying those heart breach gadgets, has already gone to the outside. So this is just going to be a bit of a horizontal take. They just need to try and move themselves through whilst cover comes in from above. Now, with these 40 seconds, you see where Myth is currently located. Very heavy around on that top floor. Actually cleared the Electroclaw. Hatch will be opened up. Gives them the opportunity to start dropping into the freezer. But as the final smoke canister pops, at least it is going to be hindered slightly. And for now, you're just looking, where is everybody? Well, we have one on the white stairs, The others are still kind of running up above, but the diffuser is in the hands of Zach. He needs to be the one dropping in, and does exactly that. As Linko gets the very first kill, the Evil Eyes are giving away the information. One is stuck in right behind the desk. Will find 2 for their effort, and that is the timer running out as well. Not enough time to scout out the site properly. Not enough time to work with the execute. They took too long clearing off those top 2 floors when there was no pressure whatsoever.
Which again is a bit worrisome, because that's either people not following a shot call quick enough, or maybe it's just them not gaining information quick enough. I think in those moments as well for Secret, you're kind of just laughing, because you're like, hey, they got a minute to go, no one's died. They're not pressuring us at all. They've gone very default. We just have to play those angles that we know are safe. And just wait for them to come into our sightlines, essentially. A very comfortable start for Secret, but again, it's been low-key gifted to them by Myth. Heading now to the middle floor. We'll see Myth maybe try something a little bit more aggro here when they are bringing the shields out.
We already had a blitz last round as well.
We did, alongside the glass as well, but that again, it's the question of you're taking utility like that and you're not going for these aggressive pushes. Often when you kind of see the glass and the blitz combined, you often think, okay, they're going to get a lot of pressure going onto these individual players very quickly. They're going to get these pinches going, and it just didn't happen. This time you want it to be a bit quicker. I love the fact that Bravo's coming out there again. Clutch drones on the majority of maps. You can get information very quickly, because 9 times out of 10 you can hack the house cams pretty much without losing the clutch drones, especially on maps like this, right? Think of that default one that kind of overlooks the whole of bar, overlooks a bit of pillar as well. It's going to give you so much info if you're able to snuffle that into the side of your team very, very quickly. Yin Candela's coming out. I rate it. Again, I think that's going to really benefit them when it comes to those final moments. Bit of cover by taking those air jabs as well. Yes, it's nothing special. It's nothing spectacular, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Again, people know what util works when it comes to Cafe.
So kind of util that works. The clutch drones could have been useful in that last round with all the drones that were on the board.
Oh yeah, true.
Reloading ammo.
So, a bit unfortunate there, but just the first round. No men's overboard yet, just the first round. As Linko trying to hide right underneath. He's been spotted though, know exactly where they are. Spots and takes out the drone, instantly drops back. But of course the side is not on that top floor. It's on reading, it's on dining. That means that the top floor needs to be slowly taken care of. Martin, throw up the nitro. There's a man just sitting there, just walked off Eli. No idea about the fact that Martin was very close to finding a kill on him, and as he just hops by once more, the clutch drone is getting some hacks in, but Jax, he's still alive around here as he takes out the cam that just been hacked. Now they know about the fact that he's out here, and Eli is trying to start a fight, but the fallback will be there. They're not going to get anything granted as the last man standing up on the top floor.
Again, no bodies being dropped when we're getting near that minute mark. Myth struggling to find these entries. Secret playing very, very well. Again, it's not like them to be patient. It's not like them to mind their manners, so to speak. Tridley's gonna fall. No trade to come out from Myth. Again, spacing maybe not ideal. Ems will fall to Eli, finally. As at least one of those shotguns taken away from the hands of Secret. No more nastiness around these corners. Ooh, but they're aware. They're aware of the pressure about to come in. This collapse should come through relatively quickly, you would hope, Hap.
You'd hope so, because there's not a lot of time. They need to start getting that plan down, and as the top floor is now fully under control with a 1-for-1 trade, it is them looking to see if anybody steps out of line. Zach will be finding the kill into Linko, at least brings them an advantage slightly in favor of Myth as they're eyeing up a plant into dining, but he will be picked up by Marto. Plant going down. Arkari trying to put it down right behind the bookshelf. The cover's there. Dynamite will find a 2K for his efforts. As it's Marto now in that 1v2, they're trying to exit the side. He will find his first as he's on a triple. With 38 seconds, that's plenty of time to work with here. He's even just going to try and go for the counter defuse. The flashbangs will come in, but pros don't fake. Actually, he does as he goes off. The first shotgun shell doesn't quite connect. The second, however, does, and Dynamite able to take the round home for Myth. As he quickly rushes over, gets the kill. But if that was stuck, that would have been a round win.
That's the beauty of Dynamite sometimes, though. Again, like, he can just be such a nice little standout player for a roster. Played that really, really well. Again, knew that he didn't really have to peek. Knew that he had the enemy playing into that timer. Just sending out a little cheeky flash. 9 times out of 10, they're going to panic. They're going to come off the defuse. They're going to think you're swinging them.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bomb.
That at least buys you more time in those moments as well. Upstairs, and again, Secret aren't really doing anything outside of the box, right? They're not, they themselves, they're not bringing anything different, anything freaky deaky. They're not going, oh, look at this little utility setup that is completely new and fresh and fabulous that we've decided to create specifically for this game. Like, that's not happening right now. They're playing very default. And again, I really want to take my hats off to them because of how much they're behaving themselves. And I don't want that to sound cheeky, but a team like Secret on a map like Cafe, you would expect them to be launching themselves out of every single window and doorway known to mankind, but they're just not. They're playing it very proper. Again, we're getting to the minute mark and no one's died because Myth aren't pushing for those entries as aggressively, and Secret are just letting them dilly-dally, so to speak.
I mean, Secret probably will have seen as well that Myth in general has been struggling with their attacks. That comes from timing, that comes from the execution. And letting them marinate in the early parts of the round could be the strategy here. Like, okay, you know, 2 minutes are down, no one's died yet. Only now they're starting to actually prepare the site, do all the necessities that come with it, but you're still in that 5v5. And if you manage to hold that, I mean, the first round is a perfect example of that. There's so much utility still left on site that Myth doesn't have the capabilities of dealing with it. So it could just be a strategic choice here from Team Secret Academy to, you know, let Myth worry about those first 2 minutes before they're finally getting engaged in that round.
Eli is gonna try and get a little bit cheekier on that repel, you know. Dynamite, beautiful entry there. Linko will fall. Secret, hungry for that trade though, sending those bullets whirring towards him. Needs to be careful. Again, bringing that IQ scanner, it does give you a nice little overview as to where some of that util is. You can tell where those Banshees are, you can tell where those Mute Jammers are at least. Ridley might be going for a white push, to be honest. If that is open, he might try and take it. Risk it for a chocolate biscuit. Eli, very, very concerned there might be a cheeky run out occurring. But again, you've got the air jabs. You should be nice and safe, my friend.
Once again, that first kill will go to the side of Myth. That minute mark is now nearing, meaning the execute will have to come through. The diffuser is on Skylight. Zach is the one carrying it. Of course, playing around with the gridlock, ready to jump through the Skylight, but he needs the support from the teammates. And as time continues to tick by, Myth need to get themselves in a position where they can provide the support necessary, but Marto runs out, finds Eli. That is now going to be an entire side locked up, but luckily Urkari is able to make some pace as he rushes up towards the freezer. Will find himself with a single kill to start things off. Now, needing to push further, but will be picked up by Marto, who made himself all the way back up to the top floors. Dynamite will find a trade in a 2-on-3 position now with 20 seconds left. Zach throwing in some extra tracks as he loses yet another teammate. The plant is not coming through as of yet, as Alems will find a double for his efforts. And now the man on Skylight is finding himself inside a freezer and right behind the bar. And with these 8 seconds counting down and himself on 1 HP, the round ends. And they lose out as Team Secret. They let Myth marinate in those first couple of minutes. Then they need to start making pushes happen. The run out, resulting in an entire site of cover collapsing. And I mean, it might have not been clear, but picking up Eli allowed them to use the white stairs and the white stairs hallway again. And that directly resulted in 3 kills coming in from the side of Team Secret.
Yeah, precisely that. 100% that. And again, it's a shame because already Dynamite kind of sitting on that 2 KPR, right? There's only been 3 rounds, but he's picked up 6 kills. He is trying to do some heavy lifting right now. Myth needs to be careful. They need to dot their I's and cross their T's. Again, losing to runouts when we do have those air jabs on the board is not the most ideal, right? I'd like for Myth to maybe, if this round doesn't go in their favour, have a cheeky little reset point, I think, as well. I think that's something that they really need to get going in these officials. Again, granted, last weekend, kind of mixing the roster up, people not being able to make it for various reasons, but you really want to get that kind of vibe going in these official games. You want to be able to have those moments where you're like, okay, we can actually have that little reset point, call a little timeout, have a little chat with each other and make sure that we can get the job done and refresh ourselves. Marto, going on to the Pulse. Love to see it. Pulse on Cafe is a match made in heaven, to be honest. Again, you think about the amount of soft destructibility you have going all the way from the top all the way to the bottom.
5 seconds
Some of that, it also feeds so much information to your teammates. So much information. Again, if you know exactly where they're appalling, or you at least say, like, you know, see 3 or 2 of them, you can be like, okay, we can kind of work out where the others are going to be here. And that will prepare your team in so many ways. They can be prepared to take that entry engagement, get those initial picks under their belt, start to get that win rolling towards you.
Wondering at this point if he's even running the shotgun on that Pulse. This is just running around with the pistol. And as hatches get opened up again, it is Myth. I mean, I still think they need to get 2 rounds on the attack, maybe 3 in total, if they want to set themselves up for a certain form of success. And yes, there's 2 halves to the game of Siege, so even if they just get a single round, it's very possible to see comebacks happen, because we have seen them happen last weekend. But Myth, the attacks are the point of attention, and that cannot be debated after last week.
We are, no, it's interesting. Dynamite's in the building. The rest of them are kind of outside. Oh, C4 to the face! There we go, Zechariah! Good night. That's unfortunate. That's the buggy's gone. That's the ram gone. That's that verticality. Now Dynamite has it all to do. Again, you brought the sense out. Where are we taking that sense? Because for me, it's like, okay, you're going to cut off that line of sight. Perhaps they extends all the way from kind of, you know, that corridor, bottom of red, all the way into Whiskey, all the way back to the kind of entry point of VIP. There's a lot of sight lines you can establish or cut off at least on both sides, depending on the util you're bringing. That sends could be really beneficial for the side of Myth. Especially now Dynamite, bless him, with this skeleton key, trying to work the floorboards, trying to open up those sight lines. But again, Secret, they know exactly where to sit. They know exactly where to go. And that pressure, it needs to be on the horizontal soon, Hap.
Really want to know if the Clutch has been able to take out any of the Evil Eyes, any of the Yokai drones, and put them into their own pockets. Still one there for Eli that he can use. For now, he's just watching the freezer and watching the rotation through the freezer. And yeah, there it is. Marto is running the shotgun indeed. I was really thinking, like, he's been running around with the pistol. Actually think he might have guided that nitro cell up the rooftop as well, as he was playing around with that cardiac sensor. Eli's inside. Hello! Will find himself a kill. Marto will be shut down. He's in the middle of the site now, but he doesn't have a diffuser. But at least he is here as a bit of a sender. Like, you know, he's present. They need to be dealing with him. Cannot quite do it as of yet. And as Zerkari is getting himself in position, the plant will be attempted right now. It is the LMG that comes around the corner but won't quite be successful. And with a second left, is there a Yokai in position? No, but Dynamite, as the last man standing, will get it down. Will spot the head, but Frenchie is quicker on the trigger with the SMG-11. He will clutch it out and get that counter defuse going as Team Secret Academy win their 3rd round of the matchup.
Oh, that's so heartbreaking. That is so heartbreaking. That was such a good round. Like, again, The fact that you're having two of you drop into freezer, right, and then one of you just gets deep inside, gets that initial pick. That frees up a lot of pressure for Akari because he's on that sense, right? He needs to cut off those lines of sight. He attempted to do so, was going for the plant. We saw a beautiful little bit of cover come out from Dynamite as well, and Eli, to try and get that plant down. And then it kind of just all fell apart because Secret, again, punchy French players.
As many bombs as they can.
Glorious mechanics, to be honest. Great work from Frenchie at the end there as well. Tiniest bit of head showing over that little shelf, and we're able to flicker the wrist, get it done. Keep hold of these rounds. Keep these rounds in your favor.
Dynamite has been playing really well on the side of Myth. 7 kills
100%.
on the board.
He always does though. Like, it's such a frustration point in T2 that Dynamite just never ends up in, you know, a team where things are working right. And it's no disrespect to Myth right now, because I just don't think things are working right now, and they need to kind of iron out a lot of these issues that they have. But Dynamite is just phenomenal as a player. We saw this even last South Breach, right? Last South Breach he was doing nuts things where we were like, oh good golly gosh, like his ability to clutch at times is absolutely insane. And it does kind of make you think like, okay, maybe there's just a little bit more mileage needed with this roster. Maybe there's just a little bit more time needed to kind of iron out kinks, and then we'll start to see really good stuff happen, especially when you have these standout style players, right?
Yeah, and I mean, it must be frustrating as well. Not just like not towards your team, but more of a like you're playing really well, but things just aren't connected. You get a single round for it. Also, those 7 kills. Eli, he was the one that actually initiated the play in that last round, though. He's the one that almost, you know, secured the ground that was necessary for the round win to come through. If it wasn't for Frenchie having such incredible work with the SMG-11. And as Myth is once more setting themselves up to take the top floor, a minute 13 has passed, and the first are now starting to drop into the building to clear out Piano, Cigar, and the bar.
Changing mags.
As the openings will be made, I mean, there's no pulse this time on the board, but there is 2 nitro cells that can be used to fish for these players. And as the opening soon will be made into Freezer, both Dynamite and Eli able to get themselves into the fight. I mean, there is a player out there. Are they aware it has been opened up? At least that allows them to take the fight right now. Is that a Lems that is sitting there inside a freezer? So he's just staying put. And with a minute left on the clock race, there's still so much work to do here for him.
Marto, gorgeous stuff dealing with Tridley. No clapback coming just from Myth. Marto getting tagged up a little bit. That was an attempt at a clapback, but hasn't managed to be any kind of capitalization. Eli getting tagged up a little bit from below. Has to be careful. Danger's still lurking just around the corner here. Again, there seems to be a little bit of hesitation on the side of Myth on these attacks at times. Not really pushing to get those entries as aggressively as they could. They just need a little bit more confidence. They just need to judge themselves up a little bit. Okay, we need to go. If I don't feel comfortable going in this on my 1, maybe I need to get that pinch going. Maybe that call needs to come through.
It's too late.
Get 3, 2, 1 going, and we pinch people out. But 10 seconds, Hap. That's not enough time, really, to find these bodies and get that kit down. Flash is going up for Makari. Does get one onto Linku. They know exactly where he is, and they'll be waiting for him. Dynamite attempting to stick that plant, but he's on his 1. What can you do? Nothing. Marto was there, and Marto was tearing it up. Good grief.
And this is just one of those rounds where the attack is too slow. I mean, the breach was happening that they needed to go for the plant at 14 seconds left. That's when these X-Kairos got placed. Takes a couple extra to detonate, then you actually need to get in there. I mean, you know, fair to them, they were with 2, they were trying their best to make it stick, but you just want to see it be a bit quicker, and that doesn't have anything to do with entries. Sure, it would be very nice for them to have an entry, Grace, but it would be much nicer if they have that complete top floor under control, and they've opened up all the verticalities by the time the clock ticks 1 minute 20. because then you can use that verticality to figure out where the players in the site are. And then you get the opportunity to drop down the pillars and see if you can plant right behind the bookshelf because you have full vertical control. While someone else pushes down the wide stairs to see if they can alleviate some of the pressure that is on the site. But instead, it is everybody up top and, you know, oh no, 30 seconds left. We still need to descend and we still need to breach towards the site. Again, it is not a roast towards Myth, but it's more of a, this is such an improvement point that we saw last week. And it still seems to be true.
There's spell a bit of danger for me right now because this is our last round on attack. Granted, maybe they'll have a better time on defense, but again, I don't think Secret Academy are going to be this hesitant on the attack, realistically. We've seen how they do the attacks. You've got that French aggression. You've got the beautiful work that they did in Combine that we saw. Some of those attacks were nasty. It literally felt like watching orca whales beat around baby seals. I'll be honest with you, Hap. It was really fast, punchy, and aggressive. I don't think they're going to dilly-dally at all, despite the issues they had, you know, in August. So Myth need to be prepared for that. Try and end this on a 4-2 the best they can. Gives them a little bit of a lifeline. Reduces that gap, I suppose.
Reloading.
Eli's finding himself close to pillars, and he's just hiding there. Now, it's right underneath the side. He might be able to catch one or two off guard as he's slowly rotating over towards white. There's actually someone down below near the actual garage. Could be trying to go for another run out, and that's maybe what they're trying to bait, because Tridley seems to be aware, actually goes off the rappel now, and that might actually be the reason for Marta to start heading back up, because I believe that he's actually inside garage. Maybe Myth are trying to force themselves the entry kill that way. They have it exactly as I said. And as Eli will be able to find that kill, is going to be hacking the phone as well, potentially. But first...
No, he's scared.
I mean, he's scared, yeah, potentially being chased. So he's just making sure that he gets out there. It's just, you know, a bit of precaution. To be honest, they don't really need to have the cameras either. Probably most already been destroyed. It's not like there's a Valkyrie on board, and I don't think there's any bulletproof, actually one bulletproof camera in play. But it's already been destroyed, so no real point, except if you're trying to find the roamers.
Again, it's just patience right now. It's just waiting. Eli going for a little bit of a rotation here, maybe to rappel up and apply pressure to those windows. That push can start to come through from Cigar. Death markers are being utilized, maybe due to those mute jammers. They're really struggling to use those X-Kairos. Again, the mute jammers doing absolute bits right now. Shutting down the util that Myth desperately need to use to try and get this collapse going. Alem's beautiful pick there onto Dynamite as Eli, he is in. He does finish off Frenchie, but they know that he's in there now. There we go. Alem's there with the trade. Instantaneous. Linku gets one before it's immediately traded by Tridley. Zachariah, unfortunately falling as does Tridley. An awkward attempt at a collapse. Just shut down because, again, timing, but more importantly, just not knowing the kind of setup that they're going up against and not having the right kit to deal with that. A 5-1 half a secret, that's a little bit brutal, Hap.
I gotta say, I did like what Myth were doing with Marto. They knew where he was, they knew what he was going to be attempting, and they dedicated a player to find him. Marto is like 11 on 3 at that point. He's 11-4 now. He has more kills than the rest of his team combined, I believe. So, you know, isolating him was definitely a good start. It's just that the rest of Secret Academy is also very capable of gunning, so they couldn't quite get the effect out of it they were looking for. And, yeah, well, I predicted 7-3, but I'm not even sure if that's going to happen now.
I am very concerned right now for Myth. I'm feeling a little bit scared for them. Again, this is their map pick. And then you're going on to a map like Bank. And granted, you know, maybe they'll do a fine job, but I don't know. It's like they've played it 9 times. They've won it 5 times. They've lost it 4, have Myth. So it's not the most ideal of maps for them.
Yeah.
A little bit 50-50.
Got us a new drone. Didn't even have to aim.
I'm reloading.
I think looking at the bracket as well, it's potentially a bit of is it contentions they'd have to play against?
Okay, let me just figure this out first. Usually they are like flipped. So I'm not sure if they're facing off against Project Zero or Good
5 seconds left
Intentions.
before insertion.
See, this is what's always confused me. This is why I like when it says loser of match 1, loser of match 2, you know? Rather than just leaving it open.
Always feels a bit Alice in Wonderland vibes to me when I try and work out brackets sometimes, I'm not gonna lie.
The upper bracket, easy. The lower bracket,
exactly,
it flips and then it flips again, and then it flips again. I just never know where we are. Oh, they're running out as well. Eli was going aggressive out there whilst Dynamite was looking for some feet. No one actually tagged up this early on. That's
the thing, that's fair enough though, because again, Eli just desperate to get that entry engagement under the belt of Myth. It's the right thing to do in these moments. Start to apply that pressure nice and early, rustle their jimmies somewhat, make them know, okay, we're not playing around. Yeah, we had a horrible first half, but I mean, can I even call it horrible? They did come close sometimes. It's just that mountain that you have to try and patch up in terms of the round differential is now going to be really, really awkward. So I respect it from Eli right now. I think absolutely go for your run out king. They're still trying to contest him as well. They have got a claymore there. They're sending these drones after him. A lot of time and attention being wasted. And that's the important thing there, Hab.
The RUs have been set up to block piano off. This could indicate that a plant is just going to be put in right from the doorway, where Frenchie is headed towards in Cigar. And as soon as they activate these ROUs, no one's just going to be able to see anything that's happening, with Akari already going a bit low as well. And Jax is ready to send in the fire that's going to stop them from moving in from the freezer, most likely. Lems has the Candelos ready to be tossing them through the windows on the back side. This is going to be a 3-2-1 execute, and the 3-2-1s have gone. The plant is going through, so are the Candelas. The Nitrocell won't be successful whatsoever as the Lems takes a little bit of damage, but Akari comes in clutch. We'll send some shots blindly through the ROUs, and we'll find a kill. We'll find a diffuser at the final second where he could cancel it. And now, instead of 45 counting for the attack, it is still 50 and a 2-man advantage for the side of the defenders. As Jack's clearing out the top floor, we'll find 3 for his efforts. Absolutely huge as he finally goes down to Dynamite, who's low on HP, and so is Eli. Rotating back up as the plant is being attempted. He will go off at the final second as he finds one. Not sure of where the second is. As he's flanking around the corner, pre-firing through the bar, cannot quite connect. As he heads over towards Cocktail Lounge and Dynamite takes his previous spot. The rotations are starting to come through. 19 seconds is still plenty of time to work on this as the opening in the wall is made with the Super Shorty. And Linko tagged up to low HP, swaps over, but ADS is at the wrong moment, and Dynamite clutches it out. It would start it off with Akari with a huge pick, stopping the defuse from going down, and with Dynamite getting crucial kills as Jax was able to breathe life back into the ramp for Team Secret.
Absolutely massive from Myth there. Absolutely huge. That's exactly what we want to see. We want to see them be like, okay, no sweat, let's just shut down what was a very good execute, really, from Secret. Again, they had the right positions, they had the right util, it was all going fine. They just weren't expecting Akari to leg and a wing himself towards where that kit was going down. Then you see Eli pop off. Then you see Dynamite pop off. Lovely little duo plays between them, just flicking around every corner imaginable, finding those heads, finding those scalps, finding those lives, most importantly. Really evening that playing field. 1 versus 1, however, really could have gone either way. Got to be careful about that, but my goodness, Myth. Backed into the corner, but not giving up, not backing down. And that's exactly the energy you want to see from them right now.
I can thank Dynamite for clutching out that round, because Jax almost went absolutely huge. Picking up those kills, bringing it back to a 2-on-2. As Eli is, it's not a serious spawn peek, but it's just to let them know that he's there, he's looking, he's watching. We'll keep them at bay for maybe a little bit longer. now. As Secret, of course, still plenty of time to get themselves to 6. They already got very close in that previous round.
Eli needs to be careful here. It's being like, okay, I'm being spotted out. Maybe I can try and bait, but who can you bait with? Potentially Tridley, if you get close enough to him. Ninku. Potentially jump down. Has to be careful though of Tridley just around the corner. I like this from Myth. I like that they've gone for the extension. I like that they've done that because again, it does waste a lot of time.
Tracker on hostile.
Oh, be really important factor, glorious stuff. C4 to the feet of Linku. Deimos gone. A run out, bit cheeky, immediately gets traded. Because you're just there, ready and waiting. Frenchie catches him off guard, I fear. A bold move, but high risk. High rewards, but high cost ultimately. Another body dropped. At least you've got that player advantage.
They had that last round too. Then suddenly everything changed. As Jax attacked. As he's trying to do so again, quickly checking his drones, trying to find the information required.
Flashbang out!
So far, not too much is being shown. As Frenchie's getting some flashbangs in, they isolate one of the players. Well done to the side of Team Secret. And now you're finding yourselves in a single-man disadvantage with still 45 seconds left on the clock, and this is the big change. When Myth was attacking, this is when the attack started. And now they're almost done already as Frenchie is just digging through the smoke. It's going down low. Jack's taking the tag earlier as well. It's definitely not ideal for the side and the two Secret players. And the fire should be finishing him off, yeah. Unfortunate. As Jack's now the last man standing. Found 3 in the last round. Could definitely do it again if he's gifted the opportunities. But the time is low and will run out, and Secret is just using this as a pseudo 10-second timeout. Because things aren't connecting, things aren't working. It is Myth that is bringing in quite a bit of like disturbances that stop Secret from getting the attack the way they want it to.
I think that's the interesting factor for me right now is the fact that, yeah, okay, Secret have really good idea of the plan they want to do, right? We see that very clearly. We see the utility they're bringing. We're seeing where they're starting. We're seeing where they're entering into the building, etc., etc. It's just Myth with their back against a wall. They've gone a little bit more aggro at times here. They're being a little bit spicier. And Secret kind of struggling to deal with that at times. But I say at times, the last 2 rounds basically. These attacks could go a lot better if they just expect those little moments of aggression and maybe have a little bit more caution. With Myth kind of throwing all caution to the wind, so to speak. You can capitalize on that if you think about it.
And this is what we say, there's 2 sides to the game of Siege. 5-1, 5-3.
Yeah, yes and no though, because again, like, it's Secret on attack are a sight to behold when they're on form, right? And it's just, it almost feels like ironic because I even said Secret in the defensive half, they were behaving themselves. And now it's the same. That energy has translated onto attack. They're behaving themselves. They're just being very patient and you know, it's catching them off guard that these runouts and stuff are happening because of the fact they're just like, okay, let's just go for the checklist. If Secret suddenly have enough and they go for some cheeky pocket just to force it to a match point, I will not be surprised. But you don't want to expend that much energy, really. Or maybe you do.
think you do, because if you manage to take this map here, I mean, border is already suiting you quite well. So you just want to make sure that you're putting up the pressure towards Myth. And once you reach match point, Myth is kind of in that situation where they cannot afford any mistakes, right? Like they are forced to kind of play calm and collected, because if they are going for jump outs and run outs that are risky plays, and one of them backfires, the entire game could be over on the back of it. They have the advantage, and they have the entry kill. Well done there. It's just an instant trade coming back in, though. As Eli, before he was shut down, was able to find Marto, the man of the hour on the defense for the side of Team Secret. Managed to find 11 kills. But at least it's an equal one-on-one trade. So, you know, that is something they can work with. That's something that is acceptable. And yes, you've lost a sledge, but luckily it is Team Secret Academy working with the rule of redundancy. And also bringing, actually, a very dangerous move here from Linko. Elems will find that one kill. They know about a second that is still up on the top floor. Are they connecting? Yes, they are. Well done here by Secret. And as I was saying, redundancy, bringing the ram as well, having the boogies to open up the floorboards. So even losing that sledge isn't that big of a deal, as the head from Dynamite gets taken off as he tried to find Jax. And now Akari in a 1v4. 45 seconds. The top floor opening up, and Drone spying on his every move.
Oh no.
It's not looking great for him. As he's digging himself into safety, he spots out a player, knows he cannot really go for the re-peek as he's opening up. Alternative angles, the plant. Already attempted, already being made. We'll at least find one, we'll find two. Akari goes big as he is trying to find a vertical fight as well, but he's low on HP. And with 20 seconds, there is still time here for Secret to recoup. Get themselves back in position. Do they know about this rotation? Because otherwise, this could be a big strike, as he knows of one in the doorway. The plant being attempted as a result, because they know they have the opportunity to do so. The drone shut down, removes the information, as their Kari is now in a 2v1 fight once more. The plant's confirmed. Counter defuse attempted. Are they aware? Well, they have to move quickly, and the fire stops them, but Jax just has to tank it, and does so. And luckily, for Team Secret, this round that started off so well for them is rewarded with a round victory as well.
Again, Akari did so well in that situation to pull it to almost a clutch, right? From a 1v4 into a clutch. Like, that's insane work from him. You know, we often joke about Akari being 3 raccoons in a trench coat, but they're 3 raccoons in a trench coat that can play Siege very decently. Again, even these moments, just sticking it. You've got the bulletproof in reading the whole time, feeding that info to you too. So even when it came down to the 1 versus 2, he knows one's going for the plant. He knows one's at that doorway. He just has to play it patiently. Not show his body too much. It's a damn shame that that's now match point to Secret, because that was a really nice attempt from Akari.
One more round for Team Secret Academy to take this map. Now a 7-3 actually looks very doable again for me. Just rooting for my own prediction. That's all I care about.
I feel like I'd be more inclined for predictions if we did get something out of it. I feel if Sham,
knowledge that you're
Sham
just
was to
smart.
be like, no, I want maybe Sham gets a little boo basket and dangles it in front of me and it's like, there we go.
The winner
Make a
of the
prediction.
predictions gets a song written by Cham about them. Like a bard song, you know?
A bard song
Yeah.
with a lute and
Medieval,
everything.
yeah, medieval song.
Incredible. I'd pay money for that.
See, all
I
you have
don't
to do is just a
predict it
prediction.
I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it.
Cham has to write really quickly now if this turns into a 7-3.
That is also true. Potentially, the last point of the last round of the map. Sorry, Myth. 6 rounds on the top spring into overtime. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's not doable, but it is going to be an arduous task. They need to get this defense absolutely locked in. Again, loads of util to hide around. Really denying information from the hands of Secret as well. You got the Mozzie and Mute combo. And you're really looking at slowing down that approach with those gates in the pocket of Zachariah. Banshees as well. The Banshees have been quite a formidable thing to go up against in that first half. I don't doubt they're going to be annoying to go up against in that second. If you can waste the right amount of time, force people through these doorways in a little bit of a hurried state, the way that you can swing around those Banshees can be very, very lovely.
Let's call some chaos. Watch your ears.
RC Rotero is being used to try and remove some utility. Arto yet to find an impact on the second half. Absolutely amazing on the defense. The attack just hasn't really suited him yet. Linko's, I believe, in the way of what Frenchie wants to play as the X-Kairos. As Eli running below used his C4. Didn't quite find the kill that he was looking for. As Dynamite is looking to potentially eye up one of his runouts. Is there someone out there? I don't think there is. So, as soon as he walks outside, that's going to be broadcasted. He's going to be, like, the team's going to be aware that there's no one there. As he actually opens up further, it is a Lems watching the garage. He's trying to bait it, trying to let it think and let it seem like he's actually fighting someone else. And with 40 seconds not being the case, that's a good grenade, but you got to make sure you're catching the fallout. There you have it, Linko. Low on HP, will find one kill, a little bit of damage onto another, but then two fall onto the side of Myth Esports. A one-man advantage with 30 seconds, one still on the rappel as Stridley finding himself close towards the planks. Linko still the opportunity of being recovered as Marto sneaks in quite close. It is Eli now running out, or not really completely, but at least brings it back to a 2-on-3. Secret aware of the fact that one's off site, and that makes it a 1v2 on the actual site itself. Pre-fire is coming through in 9 seconds, but the diffuser is down. They need to recover it and find the kills instead, and with 5 seconds left, the kill needs to come in. The pre-fire isn't completely dead! Oh. Jax on the final millisecond will find himself with the pistol kill to confirm the map for Team Secret Academy.
Good grief, by literal milliseconds was that round secured. I don't even have a face right now.